Hello, and welcome back to Real Horror Show. I'm your host, Samantha, joined as always by the Stormy Skies.
Hello, listeners.
And we're finally back after an impromptu winter break.
Yes, sorry everybody, but you know how it can be.
Debating whether or not to bring it up, but I think we talked about it when it happened before. Your campus was once again attacked.
Yeah, did we? We had to talk about that, right?
I think we did.
When was the last time we spoke?
It was a long time ago, but that set us back because Stormy's semester got set back a week, and then it was Christmas and life.
Yeah, Christmas and then New Year's. Well, it was like, when did that happen? Because it happened right during Thanksgiving break, actually. So it was like Thanksgiving and then ransomware attack and then remote and then Christmas and then New Year's. And then I was like, Sam, I really did not have time to watch all of Vampire Diaries season 6 because I had like 7 to 10 episodes to watch because I was halfway through because we weren't sure. Like I got confused about where I was supposed to be and then Sam got confused and then I got confused again. So now we really are both in the same place. Should be season 7, episode 1. Wow.
Yes.
Awesome.
But yeah.
All good here.
We should be good for the rest of the year unless her campus gets fucked again.
Oh my God. Like at this point, and like I hope listeners they probably have no idea where I work, but this is like not the first time this happened, which is extremely embarrassing because we're like, oh, we did so well because we got ransomware attacked again. It's like there shouldn't have been an again because you should have, done some type of prevention thing to make sure that didn't happen again. You know what I mean? Like that's not normal to get ransomware attacked twice in 2 years? That's obscene. So anyway, very embarrassing, but it's okay. We're over it. We're done. We're done with that now. And now it's a new year.
Yeah. Speaking of the new year, any exciting resolutions?
I do the bullet journal. So I do this is so dumb. I did like 22 for 2022, which I know a lot of normal people will say, oh, well, that's like way too many. So, but a lot of them are like very easy, like one says like buy a cookbook, that's easy to do. I just go buy a cookbook. So that's that. Don't do anything with it, just buy it. So yeah. So I have a couple and, one of them is read more and write more and things like that. I'm really, really going to focus on like finding a PhD program to apply to. I really want to do that at this time in my life. I think it's time now. I think I have the time now to do it. And then also just other small things. I've been listening to more diverse podcasts because Sam knows that all I fucking listen to is the cult classic horror show podcast. Of course, after I listen to our own podcast, but no. And so that's exciting too, because I love to listen to just people talk and yammer on while I'm working. Just little things like that. How about you, Sam? Any New Year's resolutions?
Well, I'm not doing the 22 for 22, and I usually have like just monthly goals I've done in the past. But my big ones for 2022 are I am planning to hopefully find a new job. And if not, maybe I'll follow in your footsteps and go get my fucking PhD and just teach.
You should, because there was that moment when you and I were graduating with our master's degrees and we looked at the people behind us that had were they in front of us? I don't know. And they had their PhD outfits on, which were cooler than ours. And I was like, Sam, who are they? And you're like, those are the PhD. And I was like, let's get our PhD. And you're just like, okay. So I think that still rings true. No matter how long it's been, we still need to both do that.
Yeah. So that's the big one right now. Up until April, I'm going to focus on applying to remote positions. And then once April passes, because April, I have to go to Kentucky for a week for the premiere of New Year's Eve at the Stop and Go at the Yes Festival. Nice. So you can't really start a new job when you have a built-in
Yeah.
week you need to be gone.
Right, exactly.
So there's that. And then I've decided 2022 might be the year I just become completely unhinged because I've been a bit of a pushover. And you know what being a pushover got me?
Yeah, I think we all know that. And I think we can all say, you know what, Sam, now's the year. I wouldn't call that being unhinged. I would call that, would you call that like taking life by the horns or something?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Unhinged sounds scarier. And also it's the 10-year like high school reunion year. So
God.
I'm having a bit of a life crisis.
No, don't go.
I think my breaking point was
the bath mat, right?
Yes, the bath mat. The movie is fine. It's not a terrible first feature film for first-time director, first-time producer, and then, you know, even though I wrote a better script,
yeah,
it's not terrible.
Okay.
It's very good looking. I can say a bunch of nice things for the overall movie. Okay. It's just hard for me to be happy when I was treated like shit behind the scenes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll probably get an angry text message about it. I don't care.
Listen,
but my breaking point was when the merch store went up, which is fine. Got to make your money somehow. But the person in charge of putting up the merch store really looked at it and said, give me one of everything. So now you can buy a Turbo Cola brand bath mat for $30.
$30?
Right? Like, I paid $20 for both of ours, and those are the memory foam bath mats because my feet demand luxury.
Yeah, but even with because I don't know if you shared the photo on Instagram, so I had, or not Instagram, Twitter, and I looked at it, and the bath mat versus like the bathtub that it's like in front of like does not match the lifestyle of whoever owns a clawfoot tub is not going to get the Turbo Cola fucking bath mat. Jesus.
Yeah, I actually think it would sell very well among college students. You know what? The movie will be on certain streaming networks. I'm not sure which ones. The ones they listed are like the mid-tier streaming services, so not the Amazons and the Apple TVs, but like the Voodoos and the Slings. It'll be on those streaming services, and I do encourage people to watch it.
Okay.
Give it a positive review, give it a negative review. I don't care. Because it is a good looking movie. I would have done a lot of things differently. Yeah, they're the reason I'm making 2022 my year of becoming unhinged.
Yes, absolutely.
I should, before I like go full JD Salinger, I need to write a good novel and then I'll go full JD Salinger.
So for those of us that don't know what JD Salinger did to become unhinged, myself included, what is the story with that real quick?
He's the author of
it's that one book,
Catcher in the Rye. And from my understanding, he just didn't want people to know who he was. He didn't want to be famous. And then people started recognizing him and he ended up just living the rest of his life in seclusion.
Well, that I thought whenever you say unhinged, I think of like a very like external, like big dramatic thing. And I feel like going into seclusion is very like intrinsic. So it's like, you know, so I understand. Is that what you mean by being unhinged is just being secluded? Because you mentioned remote work.
I mean, maybe
a little bit of both. Okay.
I mean, I'm saying unhinged because let's be real, when a woman like starts standing up for herself, everybody's going to think she's crazy, including herself.
Yeah, she's hysterical, right?
Yeah. And like I have a 90-page slideshow at this point of like what I've gone through behind the scenes with this movie. And like just saying I have a 90-page slideshow of all my receipts sounds a little not psychopathic, but unhinged.
But you know what? Some people may think that when they're hearing this right now, but people like me who know what the fuck went down, you never know when you're going to need that. And 90 pages is actually obscene because that's how much women let men treat them like shit, because we think like, what else are you going to do about it? So yeah, everybody else is unhinged if they think that's...
And I only made it because of the one time he tried to gaslight me. I'm like, no, I know you're lying to me right now.
Yeah,
So
But
anyway,
seriously, you never know when you'll need it.
anyway, watch Turbo Cola on streaming networks to support me and the actors because they did a fantastic job, and I want them to enjoy this because it is a lot of their first feature films, and they deserve to feel happy about it.
Absolutely. And so I don't know if you know what I'm about to ask you right now, because you said a movie on a streaming platform, and then I don't know if this is an inappropriate, don't want to upset you by it, and it is a semi joke asking this as well. Should we review Turbo Cola?
It's not a horror movie, and I don't know, I can be pretty objective about it. I'm very self-aware, I like to think. We could, but I believe the producer starred in a horror movie, so I think that would be more up our alley to review. I don't know the name of the horror movie, but I could probably find it.
Okay, yeah.
We could totally do a Turbo Cola review, because I have a lot of thoughts. And it's not just me being an asshole, it's me coming from the perspective of a film critic.
Yeah, that's absolutely what we're here to do anyway. And what better way to review something than do it objectively, of course. So maybe sometime in the future, listeners, you never know when that movie will pop up. Cool. Well, shit.
And the people I've watched it with, because yes, I've shown it to other people. You gave me the screener link, so I'm going to show my family so they don't have to spend money on tickets. My family has liked it.
Okay.
So that says something.
Yeah, I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, because there are terrible movies that exist. So.
And my family would be honest about if they didn't like it, if they thought it was a steaming pile of shit. So.
Right.
I mean, right off the bat, I will spoil a bit. They're talking about stealing money out of an ATM, and they said there's like $700,000 in it. And immediately my uncle was like, $700,000, like 10,000 maybe. So.
That's right. So you really do have to think about things like that.
Yeah. But anyway, it'll be out streaming services May, June, one of those summer months.
Okay, excellent.
So go watch it.
We will. I will watch it. Yes. I will find it and I will watch that thing, because I have one of those mid-grade streamers.
Yeah.
We all have that.
Anyway, let's go ahead and pick the movie we are actually going to review.
Absolutely. Vampire Diaries first, or do you want to talk about it after?
Let's talk about it after, because a lot happened.
All right. Yes, you're right. Okay, let's go for the movie.
So I was having a hard time deciding, but then I found this little gem from 2005. Did you ever see The Descent?
Oh shit! No, that's on the list of things I've never seen, but I need to watch. The Descent.
Well, unfortunately, we're not watching The Descent. We're watching a movie that's clearly a ripoff of The Descent, or conveniently came out at the same time because it has an identical plot.
Oh God!
Next week we're gonna watch The Cave.
Excellent, The Cave.
The Cave came out in 2005. When a cavern they're surveying collapses, a group of seasoned explorers is stranded inside a network of caves at the bottom of the ocean. So we can watch that, and then after we watch this, The Descent is on Peacock, so we can watch it afterwards.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Because The Descent is one of the best horror movies to come out in the last, 2 decades.
Yeah, it's hard to nail that one down.
It jumps around a lot, but I enjoy a good horror movie set in a cave.
Yeah, caves are scary. That's huge. That's so realistic. Caves are fucking scary.
Yeah. You got that claustrophobia going on. Oh my God. Darkness.
They're just really there. Just go to any town where Sam lives or I live, and there's just a cave probably nearby. Jeez. Very scary stuff.
So with that settled, let's talk about season 6 of the Vampire Diaries, which yesterday we were going to record, but Stormy wasn't quite finished. And she was like, can you just tell me what happens, or should I watch? And I decided she had to watch because the last 2 episodes of season 6 are very intense, and it's a cultural reset of the show.
Yes, absolutely is. It's crazy because in all of season 6, I feel like so many things happened in the last half that I watched that I like can barely remember what happened in the beginning of season 6.
Yeah, so much happened. Well, at the beginning, Bonnie and Damon were trapped in like purgatory with another male witch named Kai, who is part of the Gemini Coven. And the Gemini Coven are really stupid because they have to be led by twins, but not really. One of the twins has to absorb the other twin.
Yes, naturally.
And if their leader dies, they all die. So Kai hates his family, and his plan is to like become the leader of the coven and then just kill himself, so he kills his entire family.
Yeah, naturally.
Yeah. So the second half of season 6 focuses on this and Tyler's new girlfriend, who is one of the Gemini witches, and her long lost sister, who Alaric is in love with, and he gets her pregnant, and they start planning a wedding to be happy, and they think they killed Kai. But guess what? Vampire witch hybrids can exist, apparently.
Of course they can, because the Salvatores have a long lost mother.
Oh fuck, I forgot their long lost mother participated in all of this.
It's like her fault. Yeah, shit.
So turns out their mother was also a vampire, and it's where Stefan inherited his
Ripper gene.
Yeah, because that's just a gene that one can inherit.
Yeah, so hereditary.
Which, how do you know you have the Ripper gene if it doesn't manifest until you become a vampire?
You know what? The only way to know is to make everybody
sound logic.
Naturally.
So she was also trapped in this purgatory place, but not in like the 1994 world they were trapped in, but like an 1864 world.
No, it was 1903.
1903 world.
I only know that because I just watched all of it yesterday and today.
And it turns out that their mother's the one who turned
Enzo. Lorenzo.
Yeah, she turned him. Like, the world is so tiny.
Yeah, and she does say, you know, the words, "It's a small world," come to mind. And I was like, yeah, I guess you can say that, huh?
Yeah. And we also find out that there's more of the vampire cure available.
Yeah, of course there is more. Yeah. Just one, though.
But
it can be shared with 2 people or more. How much do you need to take, Sam, to change? Because I thought you had to take the whole thing, but now you can split it. I'm not
So no, the idea wasn't that Elena and Damon were going to split it. She was going to drink it all on her own. And then he was going to get the cure by drinking her blood, because that would be a thing. And I guess the cure just stays in her blood the entire time, which would make her a prime target for other vampires seeking the cure.
Okay, so that makes a lot more sense to me.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And so Elena becomes a human. Jeremy, who's gone through a lot of shit thinking Bonnie was never going to come back, ends up, quote unquote, applying to art school.
Yeah.
And leaving the show. Really, he's not going to art school. He's just going to go continue hunting mystical creatures outside of Mystic Falls. Yeah. Wanted to say Sleepy Hollow, but that wasn't right.
Same thing.
And then Alaric knocked up the one witch chick. And Alaric's not a vampire anymore because
of reasons, but you know, he's human now.
Because of plot. Basically, before the curse was lifted off of Mystic Falls, if a vampire entered, they would start dying of what killed them. So he was on the other side dying of the fucking heart thing. And she was like, you didn't have me before. So she does life-saving surgery on him. And now he's not a vampire anymore because reasons.
Because obviously that's exactly how it should work.
Yeah.
And every vampire can possibly become human again with a doctor.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. Like, that itself could be the cure for vampirism if you just have like a doctor So Elena became a vampire because she drowned. So what if there was a doctor there to perform CPR and mouth to mouth on her?
It'd be perfect, because then she wouldn't have to take the fucking cure, and she'd just be a human again.
And the Salvatore brothers died from gunshot wounds in the 1800s. That's something a modern day doctor could easily fix up.
Oh, easily. I feel like that's like day one medical school stuff they teach you. It's
removing
so simple.
bullets and cleaning the wound.
I feel like I could do that myself, because it sounds so simple.
So, I mean, the big thing that happens in the second half of the season is the cure, and Elena becomes human, and Damon agrees that he wants to be human with her. Because obviously we should want Damon and Elena to be together, even though I disagree.
Yes, I disagree as well, and we can talk about that in a moment.
And Stefan and Caroline are falling in love. Caroline's mom died.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. She had fucking brain cancer.
She died of brain cancer. And we realized that vampire blood can't cure cancer.
It just makes it more cancerous.
Yeah,
makes the
and
cancer worse.
And she almost kills her mom by doing this, but they perform a blood transfusion and save her mom because they remove all the vampire infected blood with human blood, with non-infected blood.
Wait, no, that doesn't work either, because they have to get Kai to magic siphon.
Is that how I thought the blood thing worked?
No, they try it, and it doesn't work, and so they have to say, well, they have to remove the blood that's vampire blood, and they say, well, vampire blood is magical, right? So we just need someone who can siphon magic. And they're like, oh, well, Kai's the only person in the universe who can do that, so let's go get him to do this. And he's like, okay, I'll do it because of reasons. But that's what happens ultimately.
My God, this season is insane.
It is. There's so many different things that happen in one single episode. Whoa, it's like reading 16 books at one time about the same. It's crazy.
But Bonnie does get out somehow.
She just
I can't remember how. It's been a little while, but she makes it out.
It's a lot. It's a big reason, but she makes it out anyway, so it's all good.
And then the wedding between the witch chick and Alaric happens, and it's really sweet. But then suddenly Kai shows up and stabs her. It's like the Red Wedding, only in vampire. He's invisible. So it's like the fucking Red Wedding in Game of Thrones.
Right.
Spoilers for Game of Thrones 10 years ago. And it's just fucking chaos. And then we're in the last episode, and Alaric is sad because she died. And for some reason, Elena's not waking up.
Yeah.
And guess what? It's because Kai's like, I put a spell on Elena that as long as I'm dead, she'll be in eternal sleep. So she's not dead. She's just in eternal sleep.
No, it's as long as Bonnie is alive. As long
as Bonnie's alive. So her life is now tethered to Bonnie. And Damon, of course, is like, well, Elena wouldn't want me choosing her over her friend. So Elena is just now asleep forever. And there's a lot of speculation as to, it's not a spoiler to say because they would have released this news with the end of season 6 that Nina Dobrev was leaving the show. Her official reason was that she didn't want to forever be tied to this character, which I understand, but they had 2 more seasons after this.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. The real reason a lot of people suspect is Ian Somerhalder and her were dating IRL, but broke up. And then I believe it is heavily speculated that the reason she actually left the show is because he married Nikki Reed around this time. So it was probably getting too hard to be around her ex, who is now married to someone else.
And pretend to be in love with him on set for like 2 more years.
Yeah.
Or more.
Which, the showrunners have come out and said that if Nina had stayed on the show, then actually that part is a spoiler. We'll get to it when we get to the end.
Okay.
But yeah, and if anyone else is picking up on insane chemistry between Damon and Bonnie, I was reading up on like the book series, which is very different from the series. Apparently Bonnie and Damon do end up together in the books. Which makes absolute sense because their chemistry is just so good.
It is so good. And I don't know if this stupid example is any spoiler, and I feel like I brought this up before, but whenever I like am scrolling through shows on Netflix, you know how when you scroll through stuff, there's like a snapshot of like people from the show. Or not even when you're scrolling through. Do you ever sit on Netflix and Netflix does that screensaver thing where it kind of like goes through different pictures of shows?
I haven't watched Netflix on an app in a very long time. I only watch it on the web browser.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I watch it from an app on the TV or the PlayStation. So whenever you just kind of like sit on Netflix for like over 10 minutes, it'll like kind of cycle through what I call a screensaver. And then there's a picture, whenever it cycles through, it'll sometimes do the Vampire Diaries, and it'll have those 3 words on the corner which describe to you how the show is that we both love. But the picture for the Vampire Diaries is a picture of Damon, Bonnie, Stefan, and fucking what's her face, blonde girl, Caroline, just those 4. And I was like, oh, now thinking about where things have gone, like, are those couples, Stefan and Caroline and Damon and Bonnie? Is that why 4 of them are pictured together? You know what I mean? So because I was like, why isn't it like Damon and Stefan and Elena and that's it? So just a thought.
I guess we'll find out as we go through the first half of season 7.
Oh shit, yeah, we gotta take care of that business too.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Before we wrap this up, can we talk about the fucking dance number Elena and Damon do before he says goodbye to her?
So listen, isn't that the dance they do when like ball that happens every 3 days at fucking Mystic Falls?
Possibly. I just thought it was really stupid because they're doing this whole choreographed dance number in the middle of the room. I'm pretty sure it's
their dance that they do when they all have to do the dance to be Miss Mystic Falls.
Oh,
I'd have to go back. Same one.
I'd have to go back.
You have to go back and check. It may not be exactly the same, but whenever they started doing it, I was like, yeah, it's probably because they all had to like learn that choreographed dance, and it's the episode where Stefan doesn't come, so Damon has to escort her. And that's when they start to fall in love.
Yeah. Well, regardless, I hated that.
Yeah, I know. It was actually pretty ridiculous. I thought it would be like a nice romantic dance, but they're like, nope, let's put a lot of effort into this in your brain movies. Oh,
yeah, the fucking brain movies. Yeah. Everybody had a special moment with Elena, and I accepted it until it got to the moment she had with Tyler. Because I was like, how often did Elena and Tyler actually interact in the show?
Never.
Like, and she was like, don't keep yourself chained up.
She was like, you're a wolf now. Just be a wolf and just embrace that, because that's what makes you special. And it's like, Elena, he's a dangerous monster.
Yeah.
So dumb. Yeah, that was the worst one. I was like, why are we doing this? Why is he around anymore? Like, get out. Oh my God. But anyway, so Elena is put... Okay, wait. I have a question though. So at the end, whenever everyone was in the house and there was the coffin, I thought it was for Joe's funeral because she just fucking actually died.
Oh, yeah.
Where was her funeral?
They kind of just brush over that. And the fact that all of the Gemini coven died. Where are they putting these bodies?
At the wedding. I don't know. I wish I knew. Yeah, so we're just left wondering, like, everybody who died in the book, because it was a nice barn wedding, and also the wedding was like at night.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool, but like, what do you think about that? Like, do you think that's like is that a trend, cool trend, or?
I imagine it's because vampires. Was it in the fall?
No, I think it was in the spring. Everybody was or maybe it was in the fall. It seemed like green grass, maybe summer.
Yeah, then that doesn't make any sense for it to be that late at night.
Yeah, because you'd have to wait until it's very late, like 9 or 10, for it to actually be like full dark.
Uh-huh.
So they just like digged around all fucking day.
Yeah.
Man. Anyway, everybody died in the barn because it was a barn wedding, because it must have been that year when everybody was having like a barn wedding.
Oh, 2015 to 2020.
Yeah. and everybody died. Jo died. Her unborn children died.
Mm-hmm.
She did not receive a funeral.
Poor Alaric.
I know.
Justice for Alaric.
I know. He's he was about to literally kill himself with a gun. And he didn't get a chance to do that. But I would have been actually fine if he had ended up dying too, because just everybody was dying. I thought Elena might die, or Bonnie. I don't know. I was prepared for something big. But anyway, Elena goes in the coffin. She goes in the secret but not so secret Salvatore mausoleum, and she's spelled shut, and she won't get back up until Bonnie dies.
Mm-hmm.
Age or the end, we see that probably because of the vampire witch hybrids that are just around now, the whole town of Mystic Falls is like completely in a post-apocalyptic state, and the only people that live there are Matt, who's now a cop, and Damon.
Yeah.
That's what I saw. I was like, shit. And
so
that's how it
season
ended.
7 is gonna be wild.
Yeah, it's gonna be so wild. And you know what? I know that Elena won't be in it, but as long as Stefan is still kicking, he's still my favorite character.
Oh, and the most important part of this season is they remember that they're called the Vampire Diaries, and the last thing Elena tells her friends to do is to keep diaries.
Yeah, she's like, write it down, like when you have a crush. And it's like, Elena, I think everybody's past crushes because there's only 6 people left in Mystic Falls to be with. So, yeah. God, I don't know. I don't even know what, and I just, I get so confused because I don't know how old they are anymore, or like if they're supposed to be in college anymore, or what their jobs are, or how they get money, or where they live, things like that. So hopefully it'll be a whole new world for season 7. We'll finish that. We'll finish season 8, and then we'll have to move on to the originals because we'll just have to do that.
Or before then, I believe Outlander season 6 will be out around the time we finish.
Oh, nice. So, good, on Netflix. So I'll just be able to watch it on there then. So that's excellent.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, I think that does it for this week.
Yeah, what a whirlwind.
Yeah. I guess merry belated Christmas, everyone.
Yes. Happy belated New Year, you guys. It's 2022.
Get COVID rapid test when you can.
Yeah, dude, for sure. COVID is just fucking rampant everywhere around me.
But Omicron is supposed to peak this month, and then hopefully some experts are saying that this is the end of the pandemic because Omicron, while super contagious, is very mild comparatively. So I've just
hello herd immunity, maybe, like, who knows, maybe what will happen.
Like, COVID's never going to go away. Let's accept that. It's just going to be like the fucking flu. So get vaccinated and keep your wits about you.
Yeah, I think we do need to come to that acceptance point, because I think a lot of people are saying, like, I can't wait until things go back to normal. And their definition of normal means without COVID being present at all. Mm-hmm. And that's simply not going to happen, unfortunately. So you have to understand that normal is going to be different to you. Yeah. So just adapt. Let's just all adapt at this point. It's been it's been fully, like, almost fully 2 years in March. So like, crazy. I've been to plays, I've been to small concerts. The one I'm nervous about is my friends and I will hopefully be seeing a My Chemical Romance concert in August of this year. And that's a big stadium concert. And I'm like, I've been to concert venues with like 500 people, and that's very manageable. How are you going to manage a fucking stadium size? No, but oh wow, yeah, I do remember that it went. I do remember the news saying that they were going to do a tour. So that's so cool. Yeah, and I really want to go to a show like you do, and I want to go to it in April because Jack White is coming to Pittsburgh. He's coming to the Peterson Event Center, which is like, it's not a big stadium like probably My Chemical Romance will fill, but it's like it's a large college like sporting arena. So it's big enough, but it's indoors, Sam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I'll just have to see what's up, man, in April and make my decision. Because I haven't bought the tickets. I really want to buy the ticket. I've seen Jack White before, but I'm gonna see him again.
Yeah, so keep your wits about you, test regularly, and I don't know, I mean the CDC's given up, so maybe we shouldn't give up just yet.
Wait, have they really given up? Like I keep hearing a lot of stink about what is happening with CDC. Like do they say something dumb? Or like did it not saying anything?
I guess at this point they're just saying it's up to individual companies to decide what the quarantine period will be, and but
gotcha.
Anyway, do your best to keep those around you safe.
Yeah, so just use your common sense and, you know, ask yourself before you walk out, you know, is this safe? Do I need to be doing this, or can I do it in another way that I don't have to go out? You know, whatever. And I think it's super cool if you have the option to work remotely, like Sam. I can also do that as well sometimes, so that's super cool too. So whatever you can do to just chill, at least until the harsh winter is gone.
Yeah, like Disney will still be there. Disney will still be there in a couple months.
Oh my God, it's not going to close because no one's going. Like, I promise you, they're not going to run out of money. They really will not. So it's all good.
Like, every time I feel bad that I went to the Mountain Goats concert in mid-December, I remember that there are thousands of people still going to Disney every day.
Like they were there at Disney while you were at the Mountain Goats. So it's okay.
And like the Mountain Goats was like a 500 person venue, and we were sitting with the old people who all were wearing masks.
Oh yeah, they're good to go because they take 16 pills a day, so they're like the most healthy.
But anyway, that's it for my COVID lecture.
500 people. Yeah, right. There are 500 people at the concert, but there are 500 people in line for one ride at Disney. So take your pick.
And
anyway,
we won't go back to normal, but we will find a new normal.
Yes, guys, that's right.
So we'll be back next week to lecture about COVID.
And about like probably why you shouldn't go in a cave by yourself, some shit like that. So stay tuned for that. We're back at it. It's New Year, so let's do this thing.
Yeah.
Guys, we'll talk next week.
Bye.
All right, bye now.
I love the creep